Hello, everybody. This is Sarita. I used to be Sarita Sales. Um, no sales anymore. Um, I brought to you a journal I just finished. I did a challenge with Dear Julie, and it was her August challenge that is called Artfully August Junk Journal Challenge. And on this challenge, we were supposed to do 10 pages and 26 alphabet art prompts that Julie gave us, 16 embellishments, and we were supposed to use 2 of her digitals. I used the pink collection of her digitals plus some free pages. Um, I haven't done this in a while, but I got it done. Um, I'm gonna have this as a premiere, but chances are I'm not gonna be here for the premiere, but this is the only way I could do it because I didn't have room just to do a regular video. Anyway, my apologies. Um, this journal is 6.5 by 8.5. It has 2 signatures. The first signatures, as you can see, is like a waterfall, since we were doing a waterfall. And the second half is just regular size papers, regular signature. Um, all the pages are ripped. Maybe I skipped 1 or 2, but most of them are ripped. They're all inked. Um, one of her, for the letter R, it was ripped or torn. So that's why my pages are ripped and torn. And boy, my fingers feel it now. Um, okay, I had my tassel here that I have it here, but I couldn't get it out earlier, so I just took it out. This is a tassel that we were supposed to do. This is one of the 10 requirements, assembles. A tassel with 3 embellishments. Um, I embellished this charm leaf. I used alcohol inks, a button tool, and string. And we were supposed to use 3 things to embellish, at least 3 things. A little bird that I inked, alcohol inked, has a little tiny flower, button, pearl, and on a ball pen. And this one is a little dangle, crystal dangle, that I put the little flower inside the holder thing. It was too small to flare out. That was my idea. But a little bit lace and a pearl. And I have it hanging here. So that's one. This is my cover. Um, we were supposed to use cardboard for letter C, and I decided to use it for my cover. I gesso it, inked it, and got torn. And it has layers, a doily. I used, this is a kaleidoscope that I made with a paper napkin. This is for letter K. And this cover just has layers of, it does have tatting, because I love tatting. Just little appliques, a wedding beaded applique. I fussy cut that. Doily, this is coffee dye seam binding. And I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this, but it needs some bling, but I haven't decided which bling yet. Here is this is part of my letter X. We were supposed to use a X rate or a negative. So there's my negative. I got this one from my friend Shauna, and I just embellished with a doily lace. It's hanging on a bolt pen, and it has more lace here. So that's my second requirement of my 10 things. So it's a monkey, alligator, mouth. My first page consists of, I haven't done journals in a long time, so I just want to remember this is from 2023. I started making journals through Julie because I had no idea what anything about journaling. So I follow her. I watched her for a few years times. Then I decided to do one, and I did a junk journal first in January, and I got hooked and I kept going. I did a few and then I stopped. So this is my next one. So for the letter W, we were supposed to use wax or glue, and I did my numbers with hot glue gun. And then for N, I used them. I hope it's okay, but I did another numbers. I used ink, alcohol inks to color them, and I wanted them kind of crunchy, kind of vintage. This is some tape lace for letter T. I also used ribbon to use it like washi tape. I found out that the lace does not stick too well. Well, it sticks well to the tape, but it doesn't, when you're trying to take apart, it doesn't, it's hard to. So I was disappointed. This is a white paper bag that I coffee dye with my um, lace nets. And inside I have my ABCs. Well, this is my A for A. And I use my D for dimensional paper. I cut my A and then I cover it with a paper. I use this is my part of my mosaic, and so just layers for my letter A here. And on the back it has a glassine bag that I coffee dye, part of my mosaic, and just some journaling cards. This is Julie's Digital, the pink flower collection. This is part of my ink pages. I did a page and then I doodle on the page, but I forgot to take a picture of the whole page because I started cutting it apart, and then I use it throughout the book. So I doodle some flowers, and here's some part of Julie's Digital as journaling cards. Julie's Digital. This one, I used two of my triangles from one of my kaleidoscope. Since I used a paper napkin, I took the layers off, and each kaleidoscope piece had 6 triangles that were cut at the same, or try to cut at the same spot. So usually with fabric, you can layer your fabrics and cut all 6 at one time. Well, with this napkin, I had to cut one at a time and reposition. It's on a 60-degree angle. And so this is only 2. It's backed. After I cut them, I ironed them on under, and then I ironed them to paper so I could cut them or leave them to hold, but they were stable. 2 journaling cards in here, decorated with cardboard, a flower, lace, inked. This is my O. This is an overlay page that I use vellum lace. And I fussy cut one of Julie's digital, included with seam binding and inked. That's the back of it. We were supposed to use a page with 3 pockets, and I tried to record earlier on YouTube, but I just didn't have enough, so I switched to StreamYard. So my pockets are out. This is my first pocket. I used a library card and just used different snippets of paper, lace, and my ribbon washi tape for teeth. And this is my first pocket that goes in here. This is my second pocket, and I use this card that the background is my bubble for B paper. My bubbles were very, very light. You can tell they're there, but they're not. You have to look close. I use my ink paper, my mosaic paper for the leaves, and part of Julie's digital to do the stem. That's the back. Is sewn, inked, and I added a sticker, embellish card with lace. That goes in here. And this is my third pocket. And I have a little envelope from Julie's freebies. My dimensional paint, my lace, mosaic, and it has a little card in here. And that goes in here, and it flips back. I use my dimensional paper to cut out a little bird, lace, and a sticker. And this is one of my paper clips. I beaded a dangle with lace and a ball pen. Yeah, so it's all inked. Julie's page. Most, except this one, most of Julie's pages have, I didn't want the white to show as much, so I either stencil or I use some of my paper dye lace papers to make a pocket. And that's what I did here. It has guest check as a journaling card. This is avocado dye paper that was oven dried, and it is ripped. That's half of my kaleidoscope that I used it as a double tuck with 3 inserts, and this is 2 of my inserts. Mosaic with a sticker. I use lace, inked, torn lace. And on this one, this is one of Julie's postcards that I put ledger paper that I laced in coffee dye on the back, lace, and my ribbon washi, and I kind of grunchied it up, and I'll explain about this one later. And then this is part of Julie's digital that I torn, inked, and put the lace here as my 3rd insert. This is the back of my Eco Dye paper. That's the other half of my kaleidoscope. So it has 3 sides. I made into a tuck. And this is for my second large tag that I used the letter B. And when I first got it, I had cut it upside down. Well, because the writing was upside down. So I kind of took it apart and glued it on. So it's kind of weird shape, but that's how it is. I can put a little tag here if I wanted to, and it's just layered coffee dye paper. On the back, I made this tuck with my kaleidoscope and a flashcard. Oh, and it has a little um, paper clip that is with my handwriting fabric. More of Julie's Digital. I use part of Julie's Digital as a pocket and embellish there. Julie's part of my ink paper, more flowers, and I had this card that I thought, oh, perfect. That's a journaling card. This is for letter L, my leaf printing. I use a carrot leaf and a hollyhock leaf with green paint. It's inked torn. Sometimes it got grunchier than others. This is the pocket, and inside is some piano roll that I copy and lace. Julie's paper. I did a flip with coffee dye paper. Julie's paper. That's the back of the white paper bag that I used at the beginning. And inside I have two of Julie's postcards. I was playing with coffee. I knew that you really couldn't coffee dye papers, but since we were doing an eco dye page, I thought, what if I dunk it in coffee and see if I have the effect of a coffee eco print. And this one kind of shows a little bit of the flower. It's not very definite of what it is, but it has pretty colors like pastel. Anyway, it gave a pretty effect. Julie's Digital. This was for P. We were supposed to do a pattern print, and I use this first, these 6 stamps, music, writing, and a butterfly, a cancel stamp, butterfly, and a bouquet. I used alternated my vintage ink with walnut, and it made it look kind of vintage. So, and embellish here with tape and washi. This is one of Julie's Digital, and I did some stenciling on the back, more of my eye. And in here I use a little pocket. I made a little pocket that I use my bubble paper. Some little journaling cards in there. This is the other side with another journaling card. And I embellish with the half a guess, the end of a guess check thing. Stamp, sticker, washi. So that's my B, a pocket with just coffee dye paper. Okay, this is my ugly page for you. I was doing my ink page and I dropped one of my paints and it made a big blob. I tried to do something out of it and I just ended up closing it, and that's what I came out. So I found this saying that it says, life doesn't have to be perfect to be wonderful. And I thought, oh, I have the perfect spot for it. So this is my ugly page. And I found this journaling card that is vintage. And whenever I saw that, I thought, oh, I can do that. So it's not perfect, so it's going upside down, and this is Kitty Wampus. I used a piece of my Eco Dye paper to do the branch, some lace, and I cut out a bird. Maybe it's a little big, but a bird out of my ink page to embellish. And I stencil this side. Julie's Eco Dye. This is part of my bubble. And it's pink, blue. It's pretty close up, but it doesn't show that well. Some of my coffee dye paper, Julie's Digital, stencil. I'll explain about this later, but this is just a snippet embellishment. This is my one of the requirements we were supposed to do. This is a layered belly band that I use we were supposed to use string, and I use string to do this art. And this is the positive and negative. And I put them together to make the center of the belly band. And I layer it with bubble paper. And here's my insert. I used ink and tissue paper and lace and washi ribbon. That's the back without the tissue paper, and put coffee stain on the side. And this one, very simple, out of the bubble paper. Mosaic, lace, and a butterfly ink and torn. Well, this one, yeah, I did torn with a roller torn it, ripped with a ribbon. Okay, it goes in there and embellished. Ink papers. This is my vegetable page for V, and it was a C packet that had tomatoes, carrots, and peppers. And I just added the ribbon, inked. This is the little shovel sticker. This one is my double-edged pocket, and I use Julie's Digitals. This is one of my paper clips that we were supposed to do 3 of. This is a wax seal with lace, my washi, and here I use my mosaic. My wax seal is coming apart. To make a tuck, and here's my journaling card. Not that one, but, and I coffee dyed this. It's one of those cards that is supposed to go in there, and I thought it's too long, so I kind of folded it. Well, and it was hard to get out of there, so I just didn't do those tags. And then my second one is with Julie's Digital 2, and I use I was going to use for my this cards for my letter, for my letter N for numbers, but I put down my glue numbers. So lace, washi ribbon, inked, of course, coffee dye and lace. That's the back. And this is my other paper clip with lace. More pages. I just added some seam binding. This is my handwriting, and with a drawing card embellished. Handwriting ribbon here. This is my yarn. For why, I had 3 yarns wrapped that I used to sell, and that's all I got. I went down one way and I thought, oh, I still have room, but I didn't want it big long, so I went back. So this is for my yarn. This is another page that I dunked in coffee dye just to see what it would do, and you can see the color here. It did take all the red out. You just have a little bit, but not much. Just scrunchy lace. This is the half of my second signature with Julie's Digital, and I did a doily coffee dyed in lace. And this is my Zentangle, which this represents my hand. I'm a quilter, so I was doing quilting doodles here. And I thought for my quilt piece, I was going to do this on fabric for my quilt. Well, that was my idea, but not my sewing machine. So I just couldn't get it right. And it's embellished with washi different papers. This page is really pretty ink page on a dictionary. And I put it in a bag after looking at Julie's, when she showed us about this, because this side is more like bubbles, and this side is more like ink splatters. And I embellished with lace doily and my washi ribbon. But I did not do this one. My friend Jill did, and I thought, oh, that's perfect. I have to have it here. This is the other half that I dunked in coffee. See, this one has a little bit more red, but that's where the red was. But I took it out, but it is pretty. It is pretty in the back. So I didn't have to stencil or coffee dye. I got a design. More pages. This was my flip up, flip down. I used an envelope that a friend sent me. And the way I cut it, this was the front of the envelope, and it has like 3 layers of stamps. So I didn't want to hide it. So I did leave some cancel postage stamps with cancel thing. This flips down. This is part of Julie's freebie, coffee dye paper. So it does have an insert here. This card was gesso stamped and inked a little. And I used part of Julie's Digital to embellish with coffee dye paper and lace. Oh, here's okay. And here is the flip down with a little butterfly lace and paper, and a little card here that I forgot to ink. So don't tell anybody. And this is the flip up or flip down, closing it, whatever. And I kind of collaged this page. And I use a little tuck with Julie's Digital and a little card with washi. Just some pages. This is a French English page, coffee stain, one of those coin or envelopes or whatever. This is my flip page with a stack of notes. So I use my mosaic here with lace of butterfly paper. And I use lace for my flip. And then I alternated. Well, no, I used Julie's for my first page, and then just coffee dye papers. This is actually the first journal I've done using my coffee dye papers, so probably went crazy, but it was fun using them. Okay, this is part of my, this is letter Q for quilt. So I had this, since my other quilt block didn't turn out, I had to use a quilted piece. And so I just got a piece. This is all quilted. And then I made a snippet roll type thing. So I took some of what I had left over of Julie's little embellishment thingies, pieces like my dimensional, my washi, some fabric, my coffee dye paper, my ink paper, mosaic. So it has just all kinds of little things here. Buttons and a thingy there that is coming apart up. And there I just have two journaling cards. Julie's, and I made on the back I just decoupage collage in there and had made a pocket. They're all coffee dye, and I just have in a journaling card. This is one half of this one. I did cut because I on another one I used two for a belly band that I showed earlier. So this I had half I had left, and I just used it as a tug with just some coffee dye paper. Here I have my pressed flower. It's a vintage wild rose, and it's inked, and I used tape to stick it on there. And this is a paper clip with washi and a bead to hold it down because it flips up for journaling. And it has this stack that I made out of layaway washi inked and Julie's digital, and it has a tag with an upside down seam binding ribbon bow. Julie's digital, and here's this one with the flip out, and here's a pocket with journaling cards. I stenciled this, and then I added this pretty bow. Julie's digital. This is my waterfall with 4 embellishments. And I used, this was one of Julie's pages that had the postcards that it had the front and back. So I just folded it, cut it together, folded it, and that's the back. And I alternated my papers. So this one has one of washi lace and her digital. Mine, this is another one, and a button string and part of my collage paper. And I put this is avocado dyed that I did. Another one of hers with my dimensional, and I used lace, and I counted the inking as another mine, and this is her last one. And here I use lace, um, safety pin with beads, and a button dangle, and that's it, and lace on top. This is the back of my bubble paper that I had someplace, this one. So I made a pocket out of it, and has 2 journaling cards, coffee stained and embellished. Echo paper from Julie. This is the back of my ugly paper. And this is, I did a letter C's, and I hadn't used this. So I thought, where am I going to use this? So I did a letter C. And with this letter C, I had cut it upside down too. So I thought, oh, I should have used that to go with it. But I just stuck it in here. I did embellish, but that's my ugly page. This is an old postcard that is 1906. I think that was cool. And part of my kaleidoscope. Just pages. This is my back cover. Here I used scrunchy lace. This is the lace I was going to use to tie, but it was just too much. On this one, this is my my gather items that from outside. And they're just dry petals. I have a piece of bark, and I made like a shaker card type thing. And I just had emptied this was a little box, and it was all white. It just had those leaves on and some emblems here. So I folded it, and I thought that's perfect. So I did washi tape here, doily lace, a button with string, and I used bubble paper on the back and as a background. So I was happy how this turned out. This is the back of it, so it's a flip. And I used an Uno card that I washed, coffee stain and lace. And this is another postcard that I did from Julie. See, that's the front, and I dipped it in coffee, and that's what I got. So I thought that was pretty. You still have, I did it quick. I think the first one I did it, I left it in a little bit longer. So, but I like how it back, and I didn't have to use a stencil or anything. So that's the back. And this is the back of my journal. So it has this beautiful doily, and it has the kaleidoscope underneath. You just see part of it here. And then this lace, I guess it would be an applique type thing. I was just going to cut it here and take this out, but I thought, no, I like the layers. So I don't know, maybe eventually I might cut it. I don't know. So this is an applique, and then some come over. But this is my Artfully August Junk Journal Challenge from Dear Julie Crafty Community. And I got it done. It's going to go as a premiere, but I probably won't be there because my grandson was just born. I came home and I'm sleep deprived, but oh man, he's a joy. But I wanted to do this before my deadline. This is August 30th, so hopefully I might be a little late showing, but I got it done. It was fun. If you're interested, join Julie's group. You learn a lot because she's an amazing woman. She always has, um, I did some of these prompts before she showed us. And then when she showed us, I thought, oh my gosh, why didn't I think of that? It's just her mind works amazingly, and you don't know what she's going to come up with. And so it's fun to see. But I'm happy. I'm happy what I did. I'm happy how it turned out. And I got it done. So thank you so much for watching. If you like, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. I'm going to try to come up with more videos. But yes, this is one of a challenge I got done in August. Thank you so much, and blessings to you all. Bye-bye.